The Tony Farina Report is brought to you by West Her Automotive. West Her cares. And Batavia Downs Gaming and Hotel off exit 48 in the New York State Thruway. BataviaDownsGaming.com.
Welcome back to The Big Picture. On January 2nd, 2022, John Garcia became Sheriff of Erie County, replacing longtime lawman Tim Howard. Reporter Tony Farina caught up with the sheriff to find out how he is handling everything from concerns inside the holding center to keeping all of us safe.
Good day, this is Tony Farina. I'm here at the Erie County Jail in Buffalo on Delaware Avenue with the newly elected sheriff, although you've been in office for more than a year now, John Garcia. John Garcia came from the ranks of the Buffalo Police Department, where he was a homicide investigator for a number of years. How's it going so far, Sheriff?
It's going great because of the people we have. We have a wonderful staff, talented, and more importantly, Tony, they care. They care about the public that we serve.
How's it, now you've made some changes, of course, already that have been widely heralded as good changes. For example, on the overtime issue for your top staff, I think 12 or so, they're no longer considered for overtime. They're now, what, salaried employees? You bumped up their pay grades. And how did that work? And you worked that deal out with pulling cars.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it's my job to be fiscally responsible and answer to the taxpayer. This is something that we agreed upon is a good idea. You know, I just said, we have to take into consideration that we're not a 9-to-5 office. So we work 24/7 year-round. So we bumped up the pay of the men and women in the top management.
Step or two in some cases.
Yes, and in order to do that, then they no longer are eligible for overtime. So it's fiscally prudent and wise to do so. And you know, at the end of the day, they're out there all the time. I mean, you look back at the year we've had with the 2 storms, the top shooting, and everything else that happens throughout the county that we cover.
And of course, also it helps your budgeting because you know what you're going to pay. The cost, it's fixed.
Absolutely. You know, our biggest challenge is the overtime that occurs within our 2 correctional facilities, here at the holding center and out in Alden. And it's not something that I control. The State Commissioner of Corrections, Tony, tells me, mandates me to say, Sheriff, you got to have X amount of employees every single day, every single shift. Now, we're short 169 deputies in order for there to be 0 overtime. But as they say, overtime is cheaper than paying a full-time employee.
You're short 169?
169 in order for there not to be any overtime whatsoever.
How many inmates do you have, Sheriff, at the holding center and also at Alden together?
So we have 825, and we fluctuate between 825 and 850.
That's for the holding center?
That's for both facilities
both
together. Now, you know, you have to consider that, you know, we have a incarcerated individual that comes to us, so that's a reflection upon the community, which means we have people that are mentally not well, physically not well. We have over 400 people, Tony, that are on mental health medication, therapy, counseling. We have over 100 people that are on methadone and Suboxone, something that we implemented last year. So, you know, we have a lot of people that are sick.
Sick, yeah.
So it puts a big strain upon our staff.
Well, we're all challenged here, as it seems, from the mental health crisis in the society. And we've seen recently the overwhelming situation at ECMC where they can't deal with the people, they don't have the staff. And a lot of that falls on your lap. Many people that are here at the holding center have mental health issues. And you don't have you're not a hospital. So it's tough.
It's a challenge for us. So when people get in that kind of state of mind where they're mentally unwell, then crimes occur. And this all falls in the laps of law enforcement.
Sure. Well, just recently, the Buffalo News did a very extensive report. I think Channel 4 did something about the mental health lack of treatment facilities and providers at ECMC. I mean, it's a mess there from what they reported.
And it's the only place. We have CPAT at ECMC and we have Bryland, but we're short-staffed. And then if we have to send people out, we send them out to ECMC. They're short-staffed.
They're short-staffed,
so
yeah.
It's we don't have enough facilities for mental health in this area. We don't have enough facilities in this area for drug addiction. And we just did a story the other day for the public. We're having 2 overdose deaths per day so far in 2023.
2 a day?
2 a day.
Oh, dear.
It's an epidemic.
Now, of course, in past years, under different administrations, there were a lot of problems at the holding center with deaths of inmates, suicidal, and some other issues. How's that going now? How have you addressed it?
So, our facility here, the Erie County Holding Center, was built in 1939. Is it literature-proof?
It's a long time ago.
A long time ago. Yeah. I don't think you were there for the ribbon cutting on that one. So, we deal with what we work with what we have, okay? It was built so people cannot escape. It wasn't built for programming and for, it's very labor intensive. It's a linear construction. It has many bars. If you want to take your life, you take your shirt off, you wrap it around your neck, it could happen very quickly.
Sure.
So again, we have a epidemic with mental health, and we're just a reflection upon the community. They come here, and we're not a hospital. We're a correctional facility. We try to be on top of this as much as possible, but we need a new facility. We need a new facility, Tony. And if people want to invest, and I love the Bills, if they want to invest $1.4 billion in a new stadium, if they want to invest $1 billion to cover 2 blocks of the 33, we can invest $100 million to get a new facility, and that's what we need.
I certainly think that people would agree with you. It doesn't pass the eye test, and of course the history there is so. You see people squeezed in, it looks like, in a facility that can't really house them. There's not enough room.
If people really want to make an investment into our incarcerated individuals, then we need to put our money where our mouth is and get a new facility. It's embarrassing that Erie County, one of the largest sheriff's offices in New York State, has a facility like we do here. So it is my vision, it is my hope that we could build a new facility. And we actually are doing a study now. We have people within my administration that have gone to other locations to see how these places were built, what was done properly, what could they have done differently. It's an ever-evolving business.
When do you think you'll have that studied, Sheriff?
The study is starting now. We are hoping that we find the monies within Erie County, New York State, and federal to make it happen. But if you think about it, the money that is spent every single year for the maintenance of 2 antiquated facilities, Erie County Holding Center, Alden Correctional Center, and the staffing savings, because now you have 2 security staffings, 2 correctional healths, 2 dental clinics, the duplication of services in one facility. I would see the savings done in 10 years.
Well, you're a law enforcement person. You've been in it most of your life, and now you've got to be a little bit of a politician, like you were with negotiating the changes in pay. You're going to have to corner some of these legislators and lawmakers once you get your study ready, and convince them that that's what needs to be done.
But this is about common sense. I don't think it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on this subject.
Well, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't. No. It shouldn't. This is for. It saves tax dollars. We get a better, a safer, healthier environment for not only the incarcerated individuals, but our staff. And at the end of the day, if there's these liability issues also, that would be a savings too. So I really think it doesn't matter if you're a Republican, a Democrat, what it is. This is about being a human being, right? You never know when your family member might end up in a facility like
Well,
this.
sure, it could
so
happen,
it could happen.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer as far as it's the right thing to do, and it's a cost savings. And I really hope it happens. So, but yes, there's certain negotiations. You have to convince people.
You got to wear a couple of hats, Sheriff.
You got to wear a couple of hats, but at the same time, if there's going to be monies allocated for other projects, we have to tell the people that this is a cost savings, which it is, and it's going to improve the lives of those incarcerated, 825 to 850 people, in our staff.
Thank you, Tony. We'll have more of Tony's interview with Sheriff Garcia in the coming weeks. If you would like to find out more, go to the website at 4.erie.gov/sheriff. If you or a loved one are seeking to live more independently in your home due to an illness or condition where you need assistance, our John DeShulo has some important information with our hometown guest.
Kolt Access and Lift since 1999 is the #1 location in Western New York if you or a family member have mobility and independence questions. And Walt Kolt from Kolt Access and Lift, welcome back to our WBBZ-TV station, because you offer our viewers such a confidence in their ability to live their life again. And explain that process, because so many people may be at their wits' end, but you give them hope and confidence and make their lives independent.
Well, a lot of people are intimidated when they were first diagnosed with diseases or problems or injury in their later in life. We're there to help them make the transition and make their house a friendlier place. And we can start off with the simplest of things, grab bars in the bathroom or a stair glide that goes up and down the stairs, giving you safe access to all levels of your house.
I would think this might be the #1 piece that starts that process when somebody says, I have trouble getting up the steps.
Well, your steps can be a dangerous place. When you have mobility issues, tripping down the stairs can cause breaking or worse. Broken bones or worse. So having a stair glide gives you a feeling of confidence in your ability to traverse your house, and it gives you safe passage from one floor to another. You can't beat it.
The chair sits here. You can show us how it moves up and down. The chair sits on this track that is then installed onto the steps, and it makes the moves slowly up and down.
We can install one of these in under 2 hours in most homes.
I was just going to ask how long it takes to install. A couple of hours, that's it?
That's it, or sometimes faster. We've gotten pretty good over the years because we've done so many of these. But this is the #1 item for most people to make the transition, and it's one of the smallest investments you can make to make sure you have safe access in your house.
So what's a cost?
Right now, it's under $3,000 for a simple straight stair glide.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers would say, I would never believe it's that inexpensive.
No, when you think about the money people spend nowadays just on groceries, it's a very small investment in your safety and your ability to have a feeling of security in your own home.
And that includes the installation wall?
That's everything. That's everything.
That's amazing.
It's one of the few things in New York State that's not taxed, by the way.
And you have them for an outdoor version as well, right?
We have outdoor versions, and we also have ones that will go up all types of staircases. We can make custom build ones that goes anywhere from a 90-degree turn up to a circular staircase.
So in addition to the stair glide, you have some other items that we're going to take a look at in your show.
We have a large variety of products that allow somebody to take care of anybody that has an issue with mobility in their house.
Walt, this looks like an elevator that someone might need in their home. Is that what this is called?
Not exactly. We do home elevators, which are becoming more and more common in the Western New York area. If people put them in their house to go from the basement to the second or the first and second floor. This is simply a porch lift, which is a really low-cost alternative to getting in and out of your house. We generally have this down at street level, so once you exit your vehicle, your wheelchair and or your walker can be put on the lift. The lift brings you up to the entry level of the house, and then you have access to the standard first floor.
And you'll work with the home and
we can modify the porch, we can add decking as required in the steps, and we make sure it's all ADA compliant. In other words, make sure we have the standard entryway and everything else so that all wheelchairs, anybody that needs to get in there can use this equipment.
For the vertical lift or the other items we just saw, you'll work with the customer on payment. There's lots of different options.
There's a lot of ways people can pay for these. Some people pay out of pocket, but there's also help through the VA, through Medicaid, and we can also offer financing to help them pay for it over a period of time.
So you'll work with the customer with their individual situation.
We try to match each customer with the right equipment at the right economic needs. And each person is different.
Let's come down and take a look. We saw the stair lift, but this is a more custom concept because if a stair has the curve to it.
Many of the homes in Western New York have a straight stair glide, which is a very easy thing to install. We keep those in stock. But we also can make custom stair lifts to fit the unique stair glides, stair lifts that come into as a need in the Western New York area. A lot of people have homes with 90-degree turns, 180-degree turns, or even a circular staircase, and we can provide a lift that'll go up any of these.
Yeah, wow, interesting. Yeah. And custom made. And then lastly, here on the showroom wall, you have a ramp, and I see a lot of ramps in various ways. You have a wooden ramp, this one's a metal one that's featured. People need to get in and out of their property.
We're the #1 dealer for Liberty National Ramps and their Liberty Series, and we install these all over the place. We can install one of these in less than a day, and it provides safe access again to your home. It's very similar to what we do with the porch lift, and a porch lift is great if you don't have the right space or area to put it in, but if you have a large enough lawn or driveway, a ramp is an easy access way to do it and a lower cost item.
Where can people find you, Walt?
They can find us on the web at www.koltaccess.com, or they can call us 716-580-3422. We'll be happy to come to your home and give you a free evaluation of the type of things that are needed for your home or for your mobility issues, and you can make the choice yourself.
All right, the number's on the screen, and Walt Kolt from Kolt Access and Lift. We appreciate your time and helping us all live better.
Thank you.
Thank you, John and Walt. We'll show you more of what Kolt Access and Lift has to offer in future shows. Remember to give them a call at 716-580-3422 or online at koltaccess.com. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of the program. Thanks for watching The Big Picture, and thanks for watching WBBZ-TV. I'll see you next week.